This segment will show you how to attach the hitch tubes and the hitch brackets to the assembly. First, cut off the plastic tie that holds the height adjustment tube in place. The height adjustment tube is already attached to the sweeper between the wheels. Then align the second and third holes in the long straight end of the right-hand hitch tube, part 8, to the 2 holes in the right side of the sweeper housing. The other end of the hitch tube will be bending inward. Secure the hitch tube to the sweeper using 2 5/16 inch by 1 1/2 inch carriage bolts, part C, and 2 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part J. Insert the bolts from within the sweeper with the end coming out to attach the nuts on the outside. Tighten the nuts by hand for now. Do not fully tighten the bolts just yet. Repeat these steps to attach the left-hand hitch tube to the sweeper housing on the left side. Now, fasten the other ends of the hitch tubes together using 2 5/16 inch by 2 1/2 inch hex bolts, part A, securing them with 2 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part J. Then refer to the hitch on your tractor. Note whether your tractor hitch has 10 to 13 inches of ground clearance or 8 to 10 inches of ground clearance, as this will determine the method you use to attach the hitch brackets to the hitch tubes. If your tractor hitch is 8 to 10 inches above the ground, take the straight hitch bracket, part 5, and insert 2 5/16 inch by 2 inch hex bolts, part B, into the first 2 holes on one end. Place the straight hitch bracket with the bolts inserted on top of the connected hitch tubes so that the bolts fit in the spaces between the bolts connecting the hitch tubes. Then on the underside of the connected hitch tubes, attach the bent hitch bracket with the bent end extending out and down. Secure the bolts under the bent hitch bracket using 2 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part J. Now go back and use the wrenches to securely tighten all of the bolts in the hitch tubes, including those connecting the hitch tubes to the sweeper and the bolts in the hitch bracket assembly. Note: if your tractor hitch is 10 to 13 inches above the ground, you will switch the placement of the straight hitch bracket and the bent hitch bracket, with the bent bracket on top, the bent part going up, and the straight bracket on the bottom. Connect the brackets to the ends of the hitch tubes in the same way, and then go back to tighten all of the bolts in the hitch tube connections. Next, insert the hitch pin, part Y, through the end hole of the top hitch bracket. Now continue inserting the hitch pin through the 2 3/4 inch spacers, part U, placed in between the 2 hitch brackets. And finish inserting the hitch pin through the hole in the end of the bottom hitch bracket, and secure it on the end with a 1/8 inch hair cotter pin, part M.